Hey guys, welcome back to another weekend edition of the Chuckload of Comics Show, your source for movie reviews, comic book talk, nerd news, everything happening in the world of fandom. Over the past 7 days, we break it down for you every single Sunday on YouTube. If this is your first time to the channel, guys, click that subscribe button. Join us here every single Sunday for all the fun. It's like headline news for nerds and geeks, people like you, people like me that just can't get enough. News from the world of fandom, guys. We got a massive list of nerd news, things that happened this week, guys. AMC theaters likely to be filing for bankruptcy sometime soon, according to Wall Street analysts. We're going to break down exactly what the heads on Wall Street are saying about the future of AMC theaters. Birds of Prey 2. Not only might this movie be happening, but it could include Poison Ivy, fan favorite character, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn together in a movie. So we're going to break down exactly what the studio heads are saying about the possibility of that happening in Ant-Man 3. Paul Rudd has penned the initial script for Ant-Man 3, and it could include MODOK and the AIM Corporation.
What?
MODOK could be joining the cast of Ant-Man 3. We're going to kind of break down exactly what was announced this week about Ant-Man 3. So stick around for all those great nerd news stories, guys. Before we get into the nerd news of the week, we got some sad news that dropped this week, guys. Mad Magazine alum artist Mr. Mort Drucker passed away this week. Big loss for in the animated world. We've never met Mort Drucker, but the reason we bring this up is we have sat down with mad caricature artist Mr. Tom Richmond multiple times on the Chuckload of Comics show, and every single time we talk to Tom Richmond, he always brings up Mort Drucker. Mm-hmm. What an inspiration he was. He passed away this week at the age of 91. Mad Magazine, Mort Drucker did the film caricatures from like 1958 until like 2003. Mort Drucker was the guy. He was actually quoted one time as saying that I have illustrated every single person in Hollywood over my illustrious career.
Wow.
So really a bummer kind of story because we're huge Mad Magazine fans here at Chuckload of Comics. But the guy lived an amazing life.
That's true. 91.
He left one heck of a legacy. So if you ever get a chance to pick up any of those old Mad magazines from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, you're likely to see some Mort Drucker art. So rest in peace, Mr. Mort Drucker. We thought we'd mention that because that did happen this week. So before we get into the nerd news headlines of the week, guys, it's time for a little bit of a Mainframe Comic-Con update, guys. Mainframe Comic-Con, is the totally 100% free to view celebrity charity telethon going on April 25th and 26th, streaming to your living room.
That's right.
Or personal device going on at the end of April. There's some new guest announcements.
Oh my gosh.
You may have seen this on social media if you've been following Mainframe Comic-Con, if you've ever been to mainframecomiccon.com. Shauna, what are some of the new guest announcements that dropped this week?
Here's one of my favorites. You've got Mr. Scott Thompson himself.
Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall. I am a diehard Kids in the Hall fan. Have been since I was a wee lad. Used to love watching Kids in the Hall, and I'm so excited to invite Mr. Scott Thompson to Mainframe. We're working on a potential Kids in the Hall reunion.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Even if the reunion whole thing doesn't happen, I am insanely excited to sit down and talk to Mr. Scott Thompson. Kids in the Hall is coming back to Amazon Prime.
Too cool.
They're relaunching the show with the original cast, so we're going to talk all about that with Mr. Scott Thompson. Who else we got?
Oh my gosh, we got Mr. Joe Hill.
Joe Hill. We are massive fans of Joe Hill. It's not only an interview with Joe Hill, we're doing a full Nosferatu. AMC, season 2 of Nosferatu is hitting AMC in a matter of weeks.
Yep.
I think so. Not only are we sitting down with Mr. Joe Hill, we're sitting down with the showrunner, Jamie O'Brien. So we're doing, and we might actually have a cast member.
That's too cool.
From Nosferatu joining us in that panel, guys. So we're going to talk all about season 2 of Nosferatu coming out really soon on AMC. We're going to talk about Lock and Key. That season 2 has been released as well.
So cool.
Talking about all the great Joe Hill stuff. Novelist, comic book creator, Mr. Joe Hill. That's exciting. Who else was announced this week, Sean?
And none other than Mr. Andy Park himself.
Andy Park. He's been on our show before. If you're unfamiliar with the name Andy Park, you definitely know his work. He is the director of visual development for Marvel Studios. So the MCU, if you want to know why Ant-Man looks the way he does, why Thor looks the way, why Drax is gray in the movies and green in the comics, you're going to find out. Mr. Andy Park is responsible for all that stuff.
So cool.
So we're going to do a deep dive. Not only that, he's also working on Black Widow.
Right?
and he's working on the Shang-Chi movie. He's working on the new Thor: Love and Thunder. So we're going to do a deep dive into the MCU with Mr. Andy Park. So that is exciting.
Cool.
Lots of other guests yet to be announced, guys. We can't talk about them just yet.
No.
But keep on checking out mainframecomiccon.com. What else was announced?
We launched the Artist Alley page this week. So all you artists out there, if you want to be listed on the page, simply hit up mainframecomiccon.com. And the instructions are right there on the website.
Yeah, the reason we did that, we know a lot of artists and comic book creators, people who sort of make their living on the convention circuit. They're not, obviously the conventions aren't happening right now, so these people they need a venue to kind of sell commissions, sell prints, take custom commission orders. So you can do that on the Artist Alley page at Mainframe Comic Con. If you're an artist, go to, like Shauna just said, go to mainframecomiccon.com/artistalley. And there's instructions on how you can submit to the Artist Alley page. It's totally free.
Yeah,
we're not charging a nickel for artists to be featured on the Artist Alley page.
This is literally just for you to drive traffic, or for hopes to drive traffic to your pages so that you can make some sales in this time of all of us being stuck in our homes.
Yeah, I believe we also released the exhibitor page just happened this week.
Yep.
There's not a lot of exhibitors yet on the page, but if you're someone who sells t-shirts, you make coasters and coffee mugs or anything that you sell, if you're a seller, if you're a pop figure seller or something like that, if you're an exhibitor at a Comic-Con, go to the exhibitor page of mainframecomiccon.com, and again, we'll put your link to your online store totally for free on the website. Anything else?
We also launched a t-shirt sales.
Merch is on sale
That's right.
at mainframecomiccon.com. We got this amazing slogan. What is it? It is
stay home and nerd out.
Stay home and nerd out. Big shout out to Mark at the Chumpcast. Came up with that amazing slogan.
Yep.
Love it. So t-shirts on sale.
Most importantly, 100% of proceeds go to the charities of Mainframe Comic Con.
Correct.
So there's no profits being made here, people. Every single penny, every single cent of every purchase you make goes straight to the charities.
Well, all the proceeds. So obviously, the cost of making the shirts is going to go to the people that make the shirts, but all the proceeds is going to come right to Mainframe and right out the back door, right to our charities. The people at Mainframe aren't collecting a single nickel.
Correct. And there's so many
sales.
options of things to buy. It's so cool. Not only just t-shirts, but long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, baseball caps, coffee mugs, mouse pads. It just goes on and on and on. And there's 3 different designs to pick from, too. So if you just like the logo, there's that design as well.
So lots of cool stuff, guys. You can find that. I believe there is a shop page on the Mainframe Comic Con website. So, guys, find out more about Mainframe Comic Con at mainframecomiccon.com, happening April 25th and 26th, streaming totally for free to your personal device or living room, Fire device, Roku, wherever you can watch the internet. You can watch Mainframe Comic Con at the end of April. So, we got a lot of stuff to break down in the nerd news of the weeks, guys. So without further ado, I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and get into this week's nerd news. Check it out. All right, guys, first big nerd news story of the week. AMC Theaters is in dire straits. As you know, they've closed their doors over at AMC Theaters for a undisclosed amount of time during this COVID-19 crisis, while Wall Street analysts are not painting a very good picture for AMC Theaters. They say bankruptcy is quite likely. Wall Street analyst Eric Handler, I'm going to try to read this because it does include a lot of very technical jargon, but Eric Handler wrote, based on our view that theaters will be closed until at least August, and our belief that AMC lacks the liquidity to stay afloat until that time, we expect the company will soon be faced with filing for bankruptcy. Handler went on to write that he downgraded AMC Theaters stock from neutral to sell.
Oh, no.
So that's not a good sign for AMC Theaters. Real bummer, because I am an AMC Stubbs A-list member.
I know. All of our theaters that we go to are AMC. I mean, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, he went on to write, he said that even if AMC is able to tap government bailout funds, they are trying to get a bailout from the government. We're not there yet, but Handler wrote that the company's high leverage ratio, which is 4.75 billion in debt, will make it tough sledding, thus making a reorganization inevitable. Speaking of the reorganization,
Wow.
guys, Shauna, you're an accountant. What is high leverage ratio?
Well, I mean, essentially what they're saying is their debt far outweighs their assets. So basically, if they were to go under and, say, not make any more revenue but have to pay off all their debt, they can't do it.
So
they
the
can't
ratio
afford
of
it.
debt
It's
to
debt
money
to assets, yeah.
is way out of whack, and it's not getting any better with their doors closed. They're not
Nope.
selling any butter flavored popcorn.
I know.
Well, if you remember, I think it was last week, in an effort to cut costs, while theaters remain closed indefinitely due to the COVID-19 crisis, the guys at AMC Theaters, they actually furloughed more than 600 of their corporate employees, including their CEO, Adam Aaron.
Which is hugely uncommon. Like, usually the top dogs don't take furlough time.
Yeah.
So that's a red flag right there.
Furloughed the CEO.
Yeah.
AMC also informed their landlords, this happened this week, they informed all the landlords of all their 600 plus theaters worldwide that they will not be paying rent.
What?
Starting this April, AMC is not paying rent to its theater landlords, people that own the buildings that theaters are attached to.
Oh my gosh.
So that's rough, man. So here's the question we want to pose to you guys in the comment section, and obviously to you as well, Shauna. What's the likelihood that AMC goes away?
I think that the name might go away. I mean, it seems like they don't have a straw to grasp at here. It seems kind of tragic.
I don't think there's a snowball's chance at hell of AMC closing for no other reason than, I mean, the film industry cannot afford to lose AMC. I think what's more likely is someone's going to swoop in and purchase them.
That's true.
If they could get a government bailout, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a studio bailout. You know, all the studios just give a bunch of money to AMC theaters on a loan type basis, just to keep them afloat. Because if AMC closes, that is just the death of the film industry.
Yeah, that seems more likely because AMC wasn't exactly like a small business that is going under. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they deserve a bailout from the government, but a bailout from the studios, that sounds likely.
Exactly. Just like
good.
Butter is a device. Popcorn's a device to get butter into your mouth. AMC theaters is a device to get theaters into your face. So if they don't get a bailout and the theaters don't bail them out, I was watching this on the John Campea show this week. They talked about a buyout. Somebody obviously swooping in. If you didn't know, if you're thinking, the first thing you think of is, hey, Disney will just buy AMC.
Yeah.
Well, legally, they're not allowed to.
Interesting.
By law, by federal law, movie studios are not allowed to own theater chains, and that sort of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's a conflict of interest thing. Right. If Disney owns AMC, obviously Disney movies are going to get the top billing.
Right. They're not going to want to Warner Brothers and MG. I mean, just pretty much everybody. They're just going to...
Exactly. Some of the names that were tossed around that could potentially, I guess, legally purchase AMC is Netflix, Apple. Apple could purchase them, but one of the ones that popped up this week that surprised, that seemed like a no-brainer to me is Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Amazon wipes their butt with $4.75 billion in debt every single day. Jeff Bezos has got $4 billion in his back pocket right now.
He doesn't need toilet paper. He's got all those $100 bills.
Exactly. Well, actually, I think they're hoarding all the toilet paper right now. But
right. That's true.
I mean, I thought maybe because Amazon is a film studio, so is Netflix. But I think it's like the amount, like they technically make more money.
Ratio. Yeah, that makes sense.
They make more money on their online retail stuff than they do in their production, their video production. That makes sense. So guys, let us know what you think. Do you think SpaceX may own AMC theaters one day? That'd be awesome.
I think
Tesla theaters,
right?
man. Can you imagine a Tesla theater?
I think Elon Musk is more into helping humanity, and he's probably not going to buy theaters.
Well, I would love to go to an Elon Musk theater.
Right?
I bet he's going to do dope things. But anyway, guys, let us know in the comment section. What do you think about AMC's dire straits right now financially? What do you think it's going to mean for the future of the film industry? I don't know. Sound off. Let us know your thoughts, because we need some opinions. And if you're a Stubbs A-list member, how upset are you that you aren't able to go to 3 movies a week like we're used to going to?
No.
All right, guys, so next big nerd news story of the week, Birds of Prey 2. That's right, we said it. Birds of Prey 2 could include, according to director Kathy Ann and Margot Robbie, could include Poison Ivy.
Wow.
A Poison Ivy Harley Quinn. If this movie ever happens, which I don't think it will, we'll get into that later. It could be a Harley Quinn Poison Ivy movie. This news came out this week. Director Kathy Ann said that she wants to explore the relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in Birds of Prey 2, should the sequel come to pass. We don't think the sequel's going to come to pass, but if it does, it seems like that's the direction they're going in. Margot Robbie, if you remember, you remember that movie Gotham City Sirens that everybody was talking about for so long? Margot Robbie spent years pushing hard to get the Gotham City Sirens movie off the ground after she joined the franchise in Suicide Squad with the intent Gotham City Sirens was going to be Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy teaming up to do God knows what in the city of Gotham.
I don't know why they put that on the back burner. I think that would have been better than Birds of Prey.
I would have much rather seen a Harley, Catwoman, Poison Ivy movie than the Birds of Prey movie we got.
Either way.
Well, Margot Robbie has since gone out and said that she has a serious desire to see a Harley Ivy adventure on the big screen, and I am totally down with this.
I'm down with it too. That sounds great.
If you're gonna, but it just popped in my head. That's not a Birds of Prey movie.
No, it's not. So why would it be Birds of Prey 2?
It wouldn't. It would just be like, why would you do Birds of Prey 2 if it isn't the Birds of Prey? I mean, just do a movie called Harley Ivy.
Yeah.
Harley and Ivy. Ivy and Harley.
Wow, that's a good point.
Well, speaking to The Wrap about potential Birds of Prey 2, the director, Kathy Ann, said, I would love to see Poison Ivy, and I would certainly love to see the relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. So it almost sounds like Kathy Ann wants to just do a Poison Ivy movie.
Yeah, right.
And then maybe slip in Harley Quinn into the mix.
That sounds cool. I'm okay with that, too.
I'd be totally down with that.
Yeah,
Kathy Ann's a phenomenal director.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the Birds of Prey, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. And I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Like, she kills it. So it'd be nice to see that character stay in the theater, but
I don't think it's going to happen. But again, she said she's not ruling out a sequel after the first movie, as we talked about, the disappointing box office run. And she went on to tell The Wrap, I think people aren't ready to get rid of the Harley Quinn character.
No.
And especially because Margot Robbie isn't ready to give up the character either. She's going to be in the new Suicide Squad movie, The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. So I don't think anybody's ready to get rid of Harley.
Yeah. Not quite
and
yet.
The Harley Ivy thing is such an obvious
I know.
team up. You remember the 1990s animated series, the Batman animated series? That's the first time we saw Harley Quinn.
That's true.
And Harley and Ivy had a total relationship in that 90s cartoon.
Yeah, that's
so
very true.
I mean, it's an obvious team up. So I don't know. What do you think, Shauna? Will we ever see a Birds of Prey 2?
No. Well, I don't think we'll ever see a Birds of Prey 2, only because of the lack of people that it drug into the theaters. And we may not have theaters to go to here, so.
Oh, no.
But anyway, no, I don't think we'll see a Birds of Prey 2.
You think we'll see a Gotham City Sirens, or you think?
I would love to. I mean, I think that's probably the next logical step, and that would be the way to get Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in there together.
Yeah. My theory is the Suicide Squad, James Gunn Suicide Squad, is going to come out. And then based on the how good that movie does, then they'll decide, are we going to continue with more Harley Quinn movies?
That's true.
So I don't think we're going to see anything until Suicide Squad comes out.
That's a good point.
And I think Suicide Squad's going to crush.
I do too.
With James Gunn at the helm.
Yeah, and they've been so secretive about this movie. For all we know, Poison Ivy can make an appearance there too.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been so secretive about this movie. We only know, we know some of the actors that are in it, but we don't even know what characters they're playing. Like, there's only a handful of actors that you know listed on IMDb.
We know Polka Dot Man.
Yes, we do.
I think we're actually going to be talking to him at Mainframe Comic-Con, but more on that on a later show, guys. So let us know in the comment section, what do you think about the possibility of a Birds of Prey 2? What do you think about Poison Ivy joining the Harley Quinn universe? Sound off, man. Let us know what you think. So, guys, the next big and final nerd news story that dropped this week, Antman 3.
What?
Apparently, Paul Rudd has took a stab at the script, and his script includes the great MODOK.
Oh, my gosh.
And the AIM Corporation, guys. We could finally see MODOK on the big screen. AIM, you remember, was actually teased in previous movies. We'll get into that in just a second. But Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Reportedly took a stab at penning the script for Ant-Man 3, which would have featured appearances by the popular Marvel villain MODOK, as well as the organization of AIM. This all comes from Geeks Worldwide. They wrote an article, and they reported that the news regarding Paul Rudd's script starring both AIM and MODOK were planned to be in the film as the main villains. However, no further information was divulged about the script. But that's freaking exciting as hell.
I know. I think that's awesome. I love the fact that Paul Rudd penned a script.
He's
a funny guy, man. I mean, and then also MODOK. Oh, what a great character. If you don't know MODOK, you just do...
Well, if you don't know, let's explain to people. If you don't know who MODOK is, you don't know who AIM is, let's start with AIM. AIM is the AIM, the Advanced Idea Mechanics organization. They are an organization dedicated to using science for evil purposes. They create super weapons, which they sell to crime bosses, dictators, supervillains, terrorist organizations such as like Hydra, and AIM is actually responsible for the creation of MODOK.
What?
Yeah, they created MODOK, who since transcended his state as simply a living computer to becoming the leader of AIM. So
snap.
It practically writes itself. No offense, Paul Rudd. So a little bit about MODOK, guys. You've probably seen him in the comic books, guys. His MODOK stands for the mental organism. The mental organism designed only for killing. MODOK. He is a mutated human he's got several powers, including he's super intellectual. He's got some psychic abilities, and I mean,
and as you can tell by the pictures, he's a giant floating head with little teeny tiny arms and legs.
Little teeny tiny arms. Seems like a no-brainer to join the MCU. MODOK, he was actually featured in obviously multiple Marvel comics. You've probably seen him before, and he's supposed to have his own animated series.
Oh my gosh.
With Patton Oswalt, not only starring as the voice of MODOK, but Patton Oswalt was also supposed to executive produce the animated show.
I hope that happens, because I think that is perfect. When I look at MODOK, I hear Patton Oswalt. I mean, I think that's absolutely perfect casting.
I know. He looks like a little toy you would get at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
If you like read a book or something, they'd give you a little MODOK and like send you on your way. So what do you think about the news? I mean, when you thought about Ant-Man 3, when I thought about a potential Ant-Man 3, I obviously thought about Scott passing the torch on to his daughter Cassie.
Sure.
Because Cassie, after Endgame, is now a grown-up, and we know in the comics that Cassie takes the reins. She doesn't become Ant-Man, but she takes sort of the reins of the Pym particles, and it becomes the next big superhero. So I didn't really think we would get a MODOK AIM movie, but...
Well, it might not be a full-on MODOK AIM movie, but you have to have a villain in these comic book films. I mean, you have to. I think about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not a Thanos movie. But Thanos is in it.
Yeah.
It's you have to have the villain.
Yeah.
So it still could very well be
and what
Scott
better
passing
villain
the torch
than MODOK?
Yeah.
And the AIM Corporation.
Right.
They've done the Hydra thing to death. I mean, they've done, S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Let's move on to AIM.
And you bring AIM in because they created MODOK.
I know.
So
it's an origin story for MODOK.
So maybe AIM is the central villain, but then they introduce MODOK later on. I mean, we have no idea.
I know.
I just think I think it's great.
I hope they roll with it, man.
I do too.
But you think the Ant-Man character is kind of done? I mean, did you think we would even see an Ant-Man 3?
No, I didn't, but I'm glad, because I think the movies are great. I think 2 is fantastic. Paul Rudd is hysterical. It's just...
Love Paul Rudd.
They're fun films.
He's the everyman hero.
Exactly.
He's the guy who's always nerds out every time he sees Captain America and Black Panther and everybody. He's like, oh my God, you're great. Oh, Hawkeye, yeah, I know you.
I also didn't think we'd see a Thor 3, and look at that. That was freaking amazing.
Now we got Thor 4 coming
one of my well, that's true too. But Ragnarok's one of my favorites. I think, and Thor, God, or what was number 2? Thor 2 was. Oh yeah. Sorry, it was awful.
Yeah, I didn't like Thor 2.
And they gave us a
Dark
third one.
World.
Yeah, there you go.
Thor: Dark World. So, guys, no official plot details have been revealed about the third Ant-Man movie. It sounds like they're just in the very early phases of script development. But we do know that obviously Paul Rudd's going to return. Evangeline Lilly most likely to return. Michael Douglas, I'm sure we'll see him in it. Peyton Reed is signed on to direct number 3, so it's going to have that original Ant-Man feel. Cool. I'm excited. I didn't think we would see Ant-Man 3. I feel like his story has been told.
Yeah.
And the MCU is moving into a more intergalactic thing, so where does Ant-Man fit in? But if you're bringing in MODOK and AIM, it seems like a no-brainer.
Perfect.
Because you're going to have that ties into the X-Men. So we're going off on a little bit of a rant here.
Didn't expect it, but I'm gladly await it.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section, guys. What do you think about MODOK and AIM? What do you think about a possibility of Ant-Man 3? Has his time passed? Are you excited about Peyton Reed coming back for one more shot at Ant-Man? I'm excited.
Me too.
I think it's great. I just want to see MODOK in the universe. So, guys, that's our whole show, guys, for the week. Hope you liked it, guys. If it was a bit of a long one, but click the subscribe button if you're still watching the show, guys. Join us here every single Sunday for a breakdown of all the nerd news. And most definitely, go to mainframecomiccon.com. It is going to be a 100% free to you. You don't got to subscribe to squat. Just enjoy the show. We've got some amazing celebrity guests lined up.
Yep.
Go to mainframecomiccon.com for a full list of celebrity guest appearances, and buy those t-shirts because it's all going to charity.
And check out the Artist Alley page and exhibitor pages and support all of your local artists.
Yeah, we're keeping hella busy here in our time of social isolation and layoffs. So guys, thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you here next Sunday right here on Chuckload of Comics. Have a fantastic week. Stay healthy, stay indoors, stay home, nerd out at Mainframe Comic-Con, and we'll see you here next week.